So broilers versus layers, which is more profitable and which should you invest your money into? In this video, we are going to look into the pros and cons of both birds to look for which is best. So let's get started. Hey, what's up? It's Ishokri of Okeronye. You can call me Ovorons, and welcome to Life of a Farmer, Loaf, where we discuss farming in deltas. So if you are new here, consider subscribing, and all my old subscribers, thanks so much. I love you. Both broilers and layers are very lucrative business with huge profit margin at the end of each production cycle. Broilers are best primarily raised for meat production. Their gene has been modified to be a hybrid and fast-growing birds and able to convert feeds to meat faster. Their feeds are made to have excess energy to enable them gain weight. On the other hand, layers, as we all know, are birds that are raised for egg production. Unlike broilers, layers have genes that make them lay eggs often. And layers tend not to gain weight, and their feed composition is formulated such that it helps them lay eggs without that much weight. Before we come to conclusion on which is more profitable, I want us to focus on certain factors as our basis for comparison. The number one factor I want us to look into is marketing. In broiler production, you have to get your potential buyers. At what age are they marketable? If your customers prefers the birds in live weight or slaughtered weight. I must tell you, one con about broiler is that you keep spending on their feed even after they reach market weight. Hence, the more the broilers stay without selling, the more they consume and the lesser your profit. But in layers, when they start laying eggs, the eggs can be stored longer without getting spoiled, and you can sell at will. Then, another thing that they also have in common, one thing they have in common is immunization and treatment against infections and diseases. Both broilers and layers have similar diseases, just that because broilers have a short lifespan and attain maturity earlier than layers, their vaccination and treatment routine is fewer than layers, which have longer lifespan. So in the long run now, you now discover that you spend more money on drugs and medication vaccination for layers than in broilers. This now brings us to the initial startup capital. When establishing a broiler farm, you require less capital compared to layers. The basic needs of broilers are light, clean water, space, few vaccines and food, and they are ready to hit the market either from 2 weeks to 8 weeks, depending on your market. Because I have friends and those that I have trained that just raise their birds for 2 weeks and they sell. However, in layers, you require extra vaccine and treatment. You require debaking of the birds. You require money for cages. That is, if you want to go into battery cage system, you need extra cost of feeding for 18 to 21 weeks before they start laying. Even during their laying period, they still need medications periodically. So you now see that, yes, layers, you tend to involve more, cover more of startup capital. And on the other hand, the skill needed also is minimal in broilers compared to layers, because layers are more complex and costly. Please do not forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to get notification anytime I upload a video. The fourth thing we are looking into is return on investment / long-term revenue. Both broilers and layers, they both have good return on investment, just that the time frame is what matters. At an average of 5 to 8 weeks, broilers are off to the market and generate more revenue, if in a very large scale. This can be achieved if you are supplying broiler meat to companies such as hotels, eatery, schools, cold rooms, or processing plants. And you can then plan your program to meet up their demands on weekly basis. However, in layers production, on a large scale will bring much more revenue, and it's on daily basis if you decide to sell your eggs daily to your customers. Also, when the layers, another pros of the broiler over the layer is that when the layers grow old and the rate of their feed consumption is higher than the egg production, one will now have to sell them as spent layers, and this will also generate additional revenue outside the sales of the eggs. So you now see that at the end of it, you have another cash. So both broilers and layers, they have one thing in common, which is the droppings. The droppings are also marketable to vegetable farmers, which is used as organic manure. Now the question is, which of these two between broilers and layers should you invest in, and which is more profitable? Let me know based on what I said so far in the comment section, and which would you like to go in, or which one are you farming on, either broilers or layers? And for me, I love broilers as much as I love layers, but if you have the market for broilers with small capital, then why not? And if you have the startup capital for layers with daily income coming during their laying period, then go for it. That being said, you can check out my other videos, and do me a favor to subscribe and click the bell icon. Your likes and share also helps me to grow my channel and reach a larger audience. Thanks so much, and see you in my next video. Peace out.